Okay, so let's dive in. We're all seeing these huge global challenges, right? I mean,
Mhm.
climate change, pollution, resources running low. It's more than just news headlines now. It feels like it's defining our future. And green technology, well, innovation there is just absolutely vital.
It really is. It's central to finding solutions.
But, the thing that gets me is why? Why are some countries just nailing it with green tech?
Yeah, developing amazing stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
While others just seem stuck. They struggle to even get started. It's clearly not just like one genius inventor having a light bulb moment.
No, there's definitely something more structural going on.
Right. So that's what we're zeroing in on for this deep dive. This is really fascinating recent study by Mohsen Khezri. And he argues that these things called entrepreneurial ecosystems
Mm.
are, maybe surprisingly, the real key. The key to unlocking a country's green innovation potential.
Mm.
So we're going to unpack that. What are these ecosystems?
Yeah.
And, why do they matter quite so much?
Yeah, and Kesari's framing is quite interesting because it looks beyond just, say, individual companies. So what is an entrepreneurial ecosystem? Well, at its core,
Yeah.
it's this dynamic mix, right, of resources, regulations, the general conditions, everything that helps startups grow.
Okay.
He uses this really neat analogy, actually. Think of the whole ecosystem like fertile soil.
Okay, like for farming, fertile soil.
Kind of, yeah. And the startups. The new green tech ideas, those are the seeds.
Right, and without good soil.
Well, the seeds don't stand much chance, do they? They won't sprout, or they might just wither away fast. The environment has to be right.
So if the ecosystem is the soil, what's the fertilizer?
Yeah.
The nourishment these seeds need to really take root and grow. What does Kesri point to?
He breaks it down into a few crucial things. You need enough funding, obviously. That's a big one.
Money, yeah. Always key.
Definitely. Then solid infrastructure, think labs, communication networks, that sort of thing.
Makes sense.
Supportive regulations are also vital. Rules that, enable innovation rather than just creating hurdles.
Uh-huh.
And people.
Absolutely. A skilled workforce.
Hmm.
People who can actually do the work, develop the tech, and, maybe less obviously, strong professional networks.
Hmm.
Places where people can connect, share ideas, collaborate.
Okay, so it's a whole package deal. Funding, infrastructure, rules, talent, connections.
Exactly. Those are the core ingredients he identifies for really nourishing that green innovation.
And it sounds like the benefit isn't just helping, one specific startup make it big. There's a wider effect.
Precisely. That's a key point. It's not just about helping company A or company B succeed.
Yeah.
What these healthy ecosystems do is much more powerful. They
Yeah.
build this kind of collective momentum.
Collective momentum. How does that work?
Well, when you see some green companies succeeding, it inspires others, right? It shows it can be done.
Yeah.
That then attracts more investment into the whole sector. People see opportunity.
Ah, okay. Success breeds success. Exactly. And it builds these amazing networks for sharing knowledge, for collaborating on new problems. So you get this powerful reinforcing cycle. Innovation sparks more innovation.
And that can lift the whole economy, not just one sector.
Potentially, yes. It creates this upward spiral.
That's a really compelling picture. Okay, so we've got the concept, the fertile soil, the seeds, the cycle. Now let's dig into the evidence. How did Khizri actually, show this?
Huh.
Because his research apparently found some things that weren't obvious at all. How solid was his methodology?
Yeah, he didn't just theorize. He used some pretty sophisticated statistical tools. Specifically, something called panel smooth threshold regression, PSTR for short.
Okay, PSTR. Sounds technical.
It is a bit,
Mhm.
but basically it let him analyze a whole load of different indicators related to entrepreneurship across many, many countries over time.
So what kind of indicators are we talking about?
A real mix. Things like how much venture capital was available, government policies, how supportive were they, the regulatory environment easy or hard to start a business, even the quality of education systems. A really broad look.
A comprehensive picture then.
Yeah.
And this is where we get to one of the really surprising findings, isn't it? About
Mhm.
regulations.
Yes.
Yeah.
This one really stands out because your first thought might be, lots of environmental rules must slow things down, right? Red tape, burden on business.
That's the common argument, yeah.
Yeah.
Regulation stifles innovation.
But Khezri found the opposite. Robust, clear, and well-enforced environmental regulations actually seem to drive more green tech innovation.
Wow, so they don't stifle it, they encourage it.
Exactly. They create really clear signals, clear incentives. Businesses see they have to meet these new standards, so they need to find new, cleaner ways of doing things.
So the pressure actually sparks creativity.
It seems so.
Yeah.
That pressure forces them to innovate, to invest in environmentally friendly solutions. It's almost paradoxical, but the data points that way.
That completely reframes how you might think about environmental policy.
Okay, but there's another layer to this, right? Khezri also found that these effects, they aren't straightforward, not linear. He talks about a threshold effect. Can you explain that?
Absolutely. This is super important. Think about pushing a really heavy rock uphill.
Okay.
If you don't push hard enough, below a certain point, it just doesn't move or barely budges, right? No matter how much effort you think you're putting in below that point.
Right. You need enough force to get it going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Khezri found something similar with green innovation. Below a certain critical level of support, whether that's strong enough policies, enough funding, enough skilled workers, putting in more effort below that threshold doesn't actually yield much more innovation. You get minimal results.
So you can be doing things, investing money, but if it's not enough.
It might not make a significant difference. But, and this is the crucial part, once the level of support crosses that critical threshold.
Then what happens? Then innovation suddenly accelerates significantly. It's like you finally push the rock hard enough, and now it starts rolling much faster. There's a tipping point.
A tipping point. Wow. So for someone making policy, that's huge. It's not just about doing something, it's about doing enough to cross that line.
Precisely. Khezri calls it finding the sweet spot. It means just making small incremental changes might feel safe, but it might not actually get you over that threshold.
So little tweaks might not cut it. You need a bigger push sometimes.
That's what the evidence suggests. To get those disproportionately positive outcomes, those big leaps in innovation, you often need bold, decisive action.
Like what? What kind of bold steps?
Things like, significant policy reforms, not just minor adjustments, or substantial financial investments, really committing resources. It's about making a strategic, significant leap to get past that tipping point.
Okay, this is starting to paint a very practical picture. So based on all this, what are the main takeaways? What should policymakers or even business leaders actually do? Khezri offers some guidelines, right?
He does. And the first big one is about integration. Policies aimed at boosting green tech. They can't just be isolated things over here.
They need to be connected to the bigger picture.
Exactly. They absolutely must be integrated with the strategies for building the entire entrepreneurial ecosystem. He found that standalone green initiatives just don't have the same impact. They tend to fall short.
Which connects right back to that threshold idea we were just talking about.
It does. Policymakers really need to be aware of these tipping points, understanding that small, maybe politically safer changes might not be enough, should guide how they plan and where they put their resources.
So aim for the threshold, not just for doing something.
Right. Be strategic. Be deliberate. Aim to actually cross that line where innovation takes off.
And it underlines that you need the whole package, doesn't it? You can't just focus on funding or just on regulations.
Absolutely. Comprehensive support is vital. Green innovation won't thrive if one piece is missing. You need that integrated system. The money, the supportive rules, the infrastructure, the skilled people, they all have to work together, like cogs in a machine.
And you mentioned networks earlier. Collaboration fits in here too.
Definitely. Khezri really stresses the importance of strong innovation networks. That means encouraging and facilitating partnerships.
Between who?
Between, well, everyone involved. Research institutions, businesses, government agencies, investors, getting them talking, sharing knowledge, pooling resources for green projects. That collaboration is key to making everything move faster and more effectively.
And we can actually see this working in the real world, right? The study points to some specific countries that are getting this right.
Yes, it does. Countries like Germany, Sweden, South Korea come up as strong examples.
And it's not just luck that they're leaders in green tech.
Not according to this research. It shows how they're doing it. They are actively aligning strong environmental regulations, clear rules, with really dynamic, supportive entrepreneurial ecosystems.
So they're managing both sides, the push of regulation and the pull of support.
Exactly. They tend to offer significant financial backing for green startups, They have excellent education systems feeding talent into the pipeline, and they use clean incentives, things like subsidies for renewable energy or carbon pricing mechanisms. They've effectively found and crossed those thresholds.
They've created that fertile soil and planted the seeds and made sure they get enough water and sun.
That's a good way to put it. They've built the whole system, and you see the results in their global standing on green innovation.
This really does shift the perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It makes you realize that innovation isn't solely about, brilliant individuals having flashes of inspiration.
Right. That's part of it, of course, but it's not the whole story.
It's fundamentally about cultivating the right conditions, building those support networks, that fertile soil, so those ideas and those individuals can actually flourish.
Precisely. And that's why these insights from Khezri are so valuable, I think. So whether you listening are, say, a policymaker trying to figure out how to boost your country's green economy, or maybe you're a manager in a company thinking about sustainable investments, or even if you're just someone interested in, how progress actually happens,
Yeah.
this research gives you a really useful lens. It highlights this crucial point, achieving real, lasting progress in green innovation.
Yeah.
It's not about searching for quick fixes or just hoping for that one breakthrough invention.
Is more fundamental.
Much more. It's about the hard work of strategically understanding, nurturing, and investing in these complex entrepreneurial ecosystems, building the whole support structure.
So you can create solutions that actually scale up and make a genuine difference to, well, global sustainability.
Exactly. It's about building the soil systematically, not just scattering seeds and hoping for the best. That's how you get sustainable growth.